How can I deal with shame, and how can I forgive myself for destructive actions I did in my youth, actions that go against life itself and love, and that go against my present values and the 5 mindfulness trainings that I've taken fairly recently.
Dear Sangha, dear friend, for me, I also have the same questions that you did about when I was hitting my midlife crisis, when I was about 30 years old, looking back at my life and see what's going on. And I guess the quick answer would be I become a monk. So that's one option. But the thing is, when I reflect and when I learn about karmas and things like that, I see that I can never change my past. It's already happened. I mean, I have done many things that now looking back, also I have a lot of shame that I should not have done. And sometimes I don't understand why I have done those things. But when I do sitting meditations and look at the causes and conditions, and I see that at that time, I was not in touch with the Dharma. I didn't know anything about spiritual life, or to be honest, I don't know how to be a good person. I hang out with a lot of friends who do things that teenagers that we do that sometimes is not very wholesome. And I just go along because that is all I know. And they're my friends, so what they do, I do, and we have fun together. But the fun we do, now looking at it, it's not so good because we also hurt others. So, because I also look at it and see that, before I was chasing after many other things, money, pleasures, things like that. So nobody was guiding me. And now I look back, I'm sure I cannot never change that. It's already happened. But I can do something better. And this is when I was contemplating on my life. I see, what's the meaning of my life? Is this it? Is this all I would do? Am I going to continue this for the rest of my life? And so, luckily at that time, I was able to meet the Dharma that you have now. I also taken the 5 mindfulness trainings, and then I contemplate on that. And I start seeing, there's suffering when I do such a thing. I can see it now. And then I chose to do something better and to help others. So in that sense, for myself, I kind of creating new actions, more wholesome actions, to offset the balance of the things I have done, and be aware and help others also like that. Of course, being monk will really help because I get to stay in an environment that is very peaceful and have a beautiful Sangha that always supports me and makes sure that I stay healthy on my practice. So that's a big plus. And here you also have a Sangha to practice with, and you have many, many friends here practicing with you. So I think the best way is not to dwell on the past, to look at it as a reflection, and to help guide you on the future and where you need to go. So I hope that helped a little bit. Yeah. My brother and sister maybe can add more to help out.
So, dear Sangha, I would also like to add a small thing that also came up in my mind. Thai once talked about retreats that we have for Vietnam veterans already quite a while ago. And so that was in the US. And so then there's, of course, many US soldiers who come back. And they have a lot of regret from what they did. And I feel very ashamed. And so for them it's also a process of accepting themselves and to find a positive direction. And so shame is not necessarily good or bad, but shame can be used in such a way that it inspires us to learn from our mistakes and to go in a positive direction. So there was one Vietnam veteran, and he said he had, because he had lost many of his friends, and so then he, in kind of revenge, he wanted to, there were these sandwiches and they were poisoned, and so he just left them at a village, and he found out that actually children had eaten those and that the children died because of it. And so then he felt so much regret and felt so ashamed of that. And then Thai said, well, you know, those children you cannot save anymore. And that is what is already the past. But also right now, every day, there's about 40,000 children who are dying out of hunger. And they can still be saved. So you can do something to save children from dying right now in the present. So not only to live in the past, but to see in the present actually what we can do. The children in the past have died, but now also there's continuously children die, and so you can actually do something to save those children. And so also in terms of our love, or maybe we've loved in a way that was not really true love, or we've hurt people in the name of love, and so we can see that we made mistakes, but then also we can think, oh, actually right now many people need love, and so many people have a need to be loved. We want to be loved and we want to love, and also still right now there's so many people who need our love, also the people around us in many ways. So we can also see, like, oh, as long as I still have that complex and that shame of the past, and it prevents me from really being there for the people around me and really showing my true love, my care for them. So in that sense also the shame can be not only an obstacle, or we can leave that obstacle behind to inspire us to wake up to the present moment and to see actually how we can enrich life for ourselves and for the people around us. So that's what I would like to add.